Bonjour, hello and welcome to the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 7 here at the Castellet circuit, Paul Ricard. The weather is wonderful, the grid is reversed, and down on said grid, as always, we have our very own, our wonderful, our intrepid Alex Le Gouy, microphone in hand, French beret on head, and ready to find out all of the news and the excitement ahead of what I hope will be a very entertaining race indeed. So, by this point in time, I'm sure you all very much know the routine, so without any further ado, I've got a good idea. Let's wing our way down onto the grid with Alex.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Here we are in an even hotter Paul Ricard, ready for round 2. We're down here on the grid, it is Scorcho. Right, race 1 delivered. So, Mikel Ascona had a brilliant race, spoiler alert, lights to flag result, despite the fact that Yann Alaché was breathing down his neck the entire time. Yann said it was literally impossible to claw anything back. He was just waiting for Mikel to either make a mistake or to get a puncture like his teammate did. Nobby Michelisz made the 3rd step of the podium. Great result for him. As a result, Santi Urrutia still leads the championship with 160 points, but Mikel Ascona is now P2, only 4 points behind. And Nobby Michelisz is now P3 in the championship standings. So things have flipped yet again. Right, the talk of this weekend is tyres. Ted Bjork, puncture. Jenson Brickley, this poor lad. I have never known anyone to have such bad luck, but puncture for Jenson. Right. This man here, Manel Fernandez, you sir, here we are. Right, you said it was an absolute dream to get reverse pole, but tell me about race 1.
Yeah, sometimes we have another drivers who doesn't brake and in my back, and we have some issues in the left rear tire. And we need to a DNF, and so it is what it is. It's racing.
Okay, and coming to the grid, how does your car feel?
Yeah, it's great. Team was again a great, amazing job, because we have a little time to fix the tire, but it's good, so I'm prepared.
Yeah, you feel confident. This is an important race leading up to Villarreal next weekend.
Yeah. We have 14 or 15 great drivers behind us. And I'm a little nervous now, but it's my first time in this position. But we are fighting in this race, so yeah.
Got this, Manel. Stay cool, calm, vamos. All right, come on then. Let's go and have a chat to Ma Qinghua. So he was demoted down to the back of the grid because of some issues over the year. Long story. But he managed to climb to P7 in race 1. Now tell me, Ma, while you and Santi obviously did a great job of climbing through the pack, I think you finished in P7, but the car looked like it was lacking in pace. Is that right?
I think I got the pace, but it's more like helping the team.
Fine.
So I just do my strategy and do my job, so it's fine. But I'm quite confident because I think I have a good pace in race 2. Just a few minutes later, I think we will see again our full push this time. No doubt. Just I look at the front, no mirrors at all anymore. So let's see. All right.
So now what you know from race 1, we know that Ted Bjork had a puncture, Jenson had a puncture. This is like so demanding on those tyres, isn't it?
Yeah, with this hot condition and track temp is about 60 degrees or more maybe. So it's very tough, but you know, it's all about you need to manage and try to make the race to the end with a good performance, of course.
Good. All right, have a good one. Thank you, Ma. All right, so let's see who we can have a chat to. Teddy's over there. We haven't spoken to Teddy. He's in a prime spot. We know they've got good pace. What can he do from P3?
We'll see. I will try to first get a good launch in TCR you never know, a lot of things can happen. It's reverse grid, so it's always a bit tricky, but we'll try to get a good lunch and see where we are after T2, and starting from there, we'll think about it.
What do you feel like from your perspective as a driver within the World Tour pack that you learned from race 1 that you can now implement into race 2?
Yeah, exact. I don't have so many mileage this year in the end in a car, so I'm still getting used again and again. So I will try to, now it's race 2, it's the last one of the weekend, so I will try to use all of the experience I can get from the free practice 1 to make it work now. That's it.
So you've got cold there. Have you got a vest on as well, a cool vest?
No, old style, fashion style.
Stay cool, good luck. All right, so let's have a little look down here. Come. Now we should speak to Santi. This is looking a little concerning. What's going on here, sir? What's going on?
I don't really know. We didn't... You know, race 1, I think we, even with the weight, I was not happy with the speed I had, so the boys been working on the car, and we have good position now, so I think they are making sure that everything is fine. And yeah, hope to get a good start and then just to maintain the position or move forward. Will be good to win again, but you know, yeah, I suffer a lot, to be honest, with the weight. So I think, you know, I need to take care of the tire. We saw Pancho from Ted, which he has 30 kilos, and he's very, very warm. So I think best thing will be to do a clean start and then see where we can end up. Hyundai seems to be strong. I think Michaelis is behind me, so which he was quick as well, but our main goal is, you know, just to do and survive the race.
Yeah, slow and steady. It's a long game, isn't it? Okay, Santi, fingers crossed. It was interesting because we were discussing, Paul, commentator, and I were saying that, you know, while they were taking those overtakes in race 1, that's great, you know, but not unexpected. But what was unexpected was the distinct lack of pace, because you'd have expected them to have gone a little higher. Let's have a quick word with Mikel before he hops in. Race 1 winner, flawless race 1. Now, you are notoriously amazing off the start. Looking ahead of who you've got in front of us, what do you feel you can do from here?
Difficult because many blues, Norby is in front also. It's very tight on T1 and T2, so I don't think you can do something. The only thing I have to do is avoid any chaos in front. Once the cars are aligned after T2, I think we can push to overtake some cars in front. Also Santi with 40 kilos, I think he will struggle. So. But it's a long race, also puncture, it happens in the first race, so take it easy, to be honest, and goal is to bring car home.
Championship standings have changed somewhat. You're now only 4 points behind Santi. To what extent do you as a driver, how much does that affect your mindset? Do you look at the championship as a whole, or is it about playing the long game?
I think it's a long game. I don't think the moment on the championship it's a long way to the end in Macau. I go race by race, but it's good to be on P2, only 4 points to the leader, which is Santi, but it's a long way. I'm not focused on the championship at the moment. I'm just focused on race by race, bring car home and take points for the championship.
All right, vamos. All right, can he do it again? Will Santi Urrutia maintain his championship lead? There's a lot that could happen here, and once again, the whole thing could flip on its head. These races are the gift that keeps on giving. Let's hope it is a good one. Keep an eye on that first corner. Whee! Let's go racing.
Thank you very much, Alex Legui down there on an absolutely scorching grid. It really is very, very warm here in France. It always is, it seems, at the Castellet circuit, Circuit Paul Ricard. And if you watched race 1, just a couple of 3 hours ago actually, it was only very recently indeed. We saw an interesting race. It was a bit of a strategic affair, and I'm not quite sure what Mar was talking about when he was saying the team game, because not overtaking the rival Cupra doesn't feel very team gamey, does it? There's Alex doing a bit of social media. There we go, get the videos in while you're on the grid. It's funny, isn't it? I've been around for a little while now in World Touring Car and Europe and whatnot. I've actually been on the grid, so I'm always in the box. So I bet it's quite an interesting interesting experience down there. In fact, I tell you, I have a couple of times actually, Macau and Mid-Ohio. Anywho, temperature 1 degree higher than it was earlier today. Track temperature is now 60 degrees centigrade, air is 32 degrees. 35% humidity. What does that mean in reality for us watching from home? What it means is tyre wear may well be an important factor in this motor race. You're going to have to be a little bit cautious to make sure that you keep the rubber on the road all the way through the race. Unfortunately for Ted Bjork, a puncture, same for Jenson Brickley in race number 1. So it is definitely not impossible. Temperatures are a little bit higher. This is a second race of the weekend, which usually means things are a little bit more bonkers. But, caveat that one, we're in Villarreal next weekend, so you do need to look after your cars. And if you're Manuel Fernandez at the head of the pack, that's a very exciting prospect indeed, isn't it? A local hero lives in Villarreal. He's all about the preparation for that weekend. Great way to prepare to start from pole position, but with Marcin Poir alongside, that's going to be quite difficult. Mar said to Alex, felt confident in his pace. Didn't look that way, to be perfectly honest, in race number 1. Looked like both Mar and Santi got blocked up behind that man, Teddy Claret, and the Cupras, really in Compton there as well. Interesting. Is that strategic, not wanting to show too much of your hand? Is that pure pace? Is it the fact that it's very high temperatures, difficult to follow, slipstream, dirty air, cause a few problems? I'm not sure. A little bit confused as to that one. Hopefully we'll go some way towards answering it when this race gets underway. Because if Marcin Poir goes away very quickly off the line, gets an early race lead and starts vanishing, we'll know it's all strategy. Aurelien Comte had a good one, didn't he? Yesterday, I'm so used to it, earlier today, a P4 for the French driver. Continues he's having a bit of a specialism, isn't he, over the last couple of years, of just turning up at the end of the race in really, really good positions, having not done anything bonkers to get there. That's how you win things. That's how you are successful for Aurelien Comte. On the other end of the spectrum, with the highs and the lows, with Santiago Urrutia, triple winner last time out in Valencia. Just P6 in the race this morning. This touring cars, people. It goes up, it goes down, it goes left, it goes right. You never quite know where you stand until the checkered flag falls. And I think the key to this one, head down, hard work for each and every one of them. Ted Bjork, he was absolutely gutted, wasn't he, yesterday, this morning. A decent race position, well within inside the top 6. Puncture on the front of the car. Dropped him to 13th by the time he'd made a pit stop, made a replacement set of tyres and got back out on the racetrack. So Bjork won't be satisfied with that one. If we look how close the championship standings are, Ted's 4th, just 31 in arrears. So that big points drop makes a substantial difference to his championship charge. Norman Mitchellitz did a good job yesterday, this morning as well. I will insist on calling this yesterday, won't I? Podium position for him. That was a good drive for Norman. Lightning fast at the start of the race, but by that point, damage had already been done. The gap to Mikel Azcona and Jan Earlshey was just too big to close down. Norby, though, definitely showing signs of having a significant amount of pace in that car. He's definitely going to be one to look out for. And let's have a look then at the starting grid for round number 7 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Manuel Fernandez and Marcin Poir are your front row, Teddy Claret and Aurelien Comte line beside, and all French second row of the grid on home soil. Paul Ricard, both drivers will be keen to take some advantage from that. Santiago Urrutia and Ted Bjork are a Geely 5th and 6th. Norman Mitchell is Mikel Azcona 7th and 8th positions. Old rivals in all different kinds of tin top touring car competition. Fascinating little battle will be going on there. Then we head down to 9th place, that's Jan Earlshey. Expect him to move forward, I am sure. Julien Brichet will be keeping him company on row number 5. Tom Pussier will line up in 11th, just alongside Damiano Reduzzi. Reduzzi had a very impressive drive, it has to be said, in race 1 earlier. Then it is Raphael Fournier. Can he get past the first corner this time? We will find out. Alongside him, he's got Gilles Chauvin and then Jenson Brickley, courtesy of a 10th-place grid penalty for having 3 reprimands over the course of the season. Somewhat like our Santi had in race number 1. Right then, you know the grid. You've seen the circuit. I do like this drone shot. This is cool. Watch out for the bridge. Oh, very nice. Look at that. And that's what it looks like in the sky on a formation lap in a touring car race. Absolutely beautiful stuff. All of our drivers are ready to go. I'm certainly ready to go. Looking forward to this one. It was, what do I say? It was a slow burner, the last race. This one should be a little bit more entertaining once again. Can Manuel Fernandes, first time on pole position? Can the Portuguese driver convert that one? He looked a little bit nervous, didn't he, on the grid when talking to Alex? Yeah, a little bit nervous for Manuel, and so he should be, I would imagine. It's quite the daunting prospect. Fanning Motorsport, the UK team, very small team. The only Audi in the field as well. Detlef Schmidt will be watching on, very pleased, I'm sure. Audi customer racing boss. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on car number 13 shoulders. Manuel Fernandes, lovely young man. Great little driver actually, he's done a really strong job. He had a couple of fourth place in TCR Spain this season, so not the massive results. He's always there and thereabouts. Just a little bit unfortunate it seems, and sadly for Fernandes, he seems to be carrying this into his World Tour career as well, doesn't he? Hopefully though, there's no time like the present to knock the bad luck heebie-jeebies on the head, is it? And from pole position, that's a pretty decent place to set the record straight and start with a bit more with the good fortune books. Teddy Claret got a good start off the grid in race one. I expect the Frenchman to be equally as fast. And I think as well for Teddy, he absolutely ran with the rally and comp all race long, so we know he's got race pace too. Does the 120. Keep an eye on that one, the Team Claret Sport Cupra. If you've missed all of our footage up to this point, just draw your attention to the fact that Teddy Claret is now racing back again under his own team, no longer with ALM Motorsports, where him himself and brother Jimmy participated in the opening part of the season. Well, they've gone back for their own car. It's not the Audi that we saw in TCR Europe, it's the Cupra, and so far for Teddy, feels like that might be quite the inspired decision. It's working rather well indeed. Everybody then nervously watching the screen. This is terrible as a team member. You've done everything you can to put your driver in the best position possible, and then now it's completely out of your hands. All you can do is sit back, watch, and hope that you don't get called into action during the course of the race. Look, that's a beautiful shot, isn't it? They really are stunning TCR cars, aren't they? They really, really, really are stunning. And they look absolutely incredible on the grid. Golden age of touring cars, methinks. We seem to be very much in there, don't we? Looking forward to this one. The calm before the storm then. Nova Michelic will sit on board with the Hungarian as he prepares to do battle. Who will make it down into T1 first? The green flag waves at the back of the field. Watch the lights. All will go on. And all will go off. We are go for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 7, and Marching Hua gets a lightning start away from second position. Done and dusted even before the braking zone. Look at Teddy Claret around the outside in the 120. The French driver fancies his chances, uses the outside line contact a little bit further back. That is Manuel Fernandes. Oh no, Fernandes, secondary and third contact, has a go at both of the BRC drivers, as Teddy Claret is your early race leader. Marching Hua has a little bit of contact between himself and Santiago Urrutia. Mar says thank you very much, have some back, sunshine. Urrutia though just about survives that one, moves up into second position. Mar down into third place. There's a rally and Compt at the back of your shot as well. Ted Bjork desperately trying to buy into this one. Bjork in fifth position, has a look around the outside. Mar defending from Compt, also attacking Urrutia at exactly the same time. Both drivers survive that one. Look at Aurelian though to the inside. Look at Ted Bjork to the inside into Bousset. Thank you very much, Ted. That is a beautiful overtaking manoeuvre. Ted Bjork then up in a fourth position, and almost as soon as he gets that one, Aurelian Compt has the counter-attack. Aurelian, though, can't quite find a way past. On this occasion, in fact, he finds a way into the side of Bjork. Contact between the two. Both drivers have to go to the escape road. That looks like Compt hurt more than Bjork did on that occasion. Nova Michelis now has an opportunity, and Norby says, no, it's not Norby, it's Mikael Athkona, in fact. Mikael Athkona says, thank you very much, you have a play, I'll take a position away, as Julian Brichet buys into the fight on this opening lap. Absolutely frantic stuff then at the front of the field. Incredible. More racing at the start of this one than we had in the whole of the last race. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Marchinquois having another look on Santi Urrutia. Gets the job done. Santi leaves the door well and truly open as yellow flags fly in sector 2. There is Mikel Azcona. Who's that? Damiano Reduzzi, I think, at the back of your shot in some kind of strife. What's happened to Norbe? He's down in 8th position. So the Hungarian driver got shuffled down somewhat in the opening lap dramas. Jan Erlichet right in the heat of battle as well. He's got Julian Brichet for company, 6th and 7th places respectively. Manuel Fernandez, we saw in trouble. I'm grateful to see that it looks like that car hasn't received terminal damage, so Fernandez stays in 9th position, having shipped quite a few places over the opening couple of encounters. Relief to see though that Fernandez's car does look like it is all ship shapes. That's nice. The Vanny Motorsports Audi still very much on track in 9th position. Aurelien Comte is in pit lane and out of the race. That was courtesy of the contact that we saw between himself and Ted Bjork a little bit earlier on. Bjork doesn't seem to be, I'm just looking at the screen, doesn't seem to be suffering the ill effects too much of that bit of contact. He's got teammate Jan Erlichet behind. And Ted will be keen to keep Jan exactly where he is because he's ahead of them. Championship is Ted Bjork, so he's got every right to occupy that space as much as he wants compared to the reigning champion Julian Brichet, keeping a look-see as well, as there is confirmation that unfortunately SP competition and Aurelien Comte's day looks to be done. Lap number 3 then, the Marchinquois and the Ted Bjork and Jan Erlichet fight is handed to Jan. So Ted, very much a team instruction there, moving out of the way, letting his teammate through. Erlichet, of course, has an urgency to start getting a bit of a move on here, doesn't he? He's got a lot of ground to make up in the championship, and it's very much a very, very clever team dynamic at Julie Sayan Racing. Bjork will know there's no benefit to fight Jan. Jan needs to make the space, Jan needs to move forward, and for Ted, if anything, if Jan can do that forward moving, he's going to buy into the back of Mikel Azcona, and then all of a sudden it becomes incredibly more interesting than it currently is. But for Ted Bjork, all that's fine if you can hold off the light flashing Julian Brichet behind. And quite frankly, for the Swedish driver, it doesn't look very comfortable, does it? Bjork under a lot of pressure from Julian Brichet. This is going to be absolutely fascinating. Does Ted have a little bit of damage on that car, courtesy of the contact between himself and Aurelien Comte earlier on? Or is it purely that Julian Brichet just has the pace at this stage? Impressive either way from the French driver. This is the fight for 6th and 7th position. Robert Mitchell is just behind. He's still a few car lengths in arrears. In fact, if anything, he's coming under a little bit of pressure, isn't he, from Fernandez behind. So it's good to see that the opening lap jitters for Manuel Fernandez have calmed down somewhat. And he's getting back on the up and up. Last time through then, fastest lap of the race for Teddy Claret, 1 minute 32.420. That was just under a tenth of a second quicker than Marchinquois. Very, very fine margins at the head of the pack. But for Teddy, this is exactly what he would have needed for this race. Clean start, push a little bit, build a comfort blanket, and then prepare for any dramas that may come your way. Right then, while we have a moment's pause in proceedings, let's have a look at the replay of the race start. So here we go then. Fernandez was a little bit slow off the line, too much wheel spin on board that Audi, not quite as good in the second phase of the launch. Then he got swallowed up by the chasing pack. Off of the line for Teddy Claret and for Marchinquois. Absolutely beautiful. Mar looked like it was signed, sealed and delivered, didn't it, on the way down a T1. Teddy Claret, though, absolutely had other ideas. Very brave from the French driver. All the way around the outside is Julian Brichet and several other of the cars. Tom Pussy was in there as well. Have to go to the escape road. Then take a look at this one. Where's your first bit of contact? There. That's Mar being rudely shoved aside by Santiago. And then, boom, second bit of contact from Mar saying, I see you and I raise you. Another little hit. This is what it looked like on board the 105 of Norbert Michelitz. You can see how frantic it is down that first few corners. A little bit of rubbing is racing. It's touring cars, of course. If you don't rub, then you're not running close enough together. And that is what put pay to Aurelien Comte's event. Heavy, heavy contact into the rear quarter of Ted Bjork. Somebody sheds a bit of bodywork as well. That's possibly even coming off the back of Ted or Aurelien's car. Looked a lot harder, didn't it? Second time of asking that bit of contact. Hopefully Ted Bjork's not suffering the ill effects of that one too much in these early stages. Right, Tom Poussier has a drive-through penalty for a false start. That's a shame, 13th position for the Frenchman. He'll have to serve that within the next 3 laps. Didn't see it on the screen exactly how that false start took place, but the stewards have reviewed it and they want him to come and visit pit lane in the not-too-distant future. So that's a shame for Tom. This is the race, though, still building up that experience level that he needs. His debut weekend, of course, in the World Tour, as Jean-Carl Vernet continues his recovery from an ankle injury. JK, if you're watching this one, best wishes to you, sir, and hope you recover as quickly as possible. Look forward to hopefully seeing you at Ingespiedium on the 2nd and 4th of October. Right then, back to now, back to the racing. Let's unpick, let's think, what's interesting in who is where, why and how. At this moment in time, it's Teddy Claret from Marching Quart and Santiago Urrutia. 1.4 seconds, though, is Claret's advantage. And last time around, a 1:32.5 versus a 1:32.6. Claret definitely has the pace at this stage to consolidate that early race lead. Lap number 6 on the books then. We pick up this particular squabble. Santiago Urrutia, Mikel Azcona, Jan Erlechet. Azcona is the meat, isn't he, in a Geely Scion Racing sandwich. Oh, hello! What went wrong there? That is a big error in judgment for Marching Quart. I think that was, yes it was, of course. No, Santiago Urrutia, sorry, of course it was. So Santiago absolutely making a fist of the T1, T2 complex of corners. Mistake or a sign of something a little bit more sinister? Answers on a postcard, please. But for Santiago Urrutia, what it has done has put him under a world of pressure from Mikel Azcona. Mikel, he will be highly alert to the opportunity now. Race 1 winner earlier today. Azcona would absolutely adore another podium position, and he's absolutely on the money now, taking Jan Erlechet with him. Ted Bjork still in strife. Erlechet, though, he senses an opportunity for podium positions as well, and that will help the Frenchman no end. There we go. That looks like, quite simply, a little bit of a last of the late breakers plus another 10 to 15 metres for Santiago there. Easy done. Muscle memory tells you that you keep going straight on, doesn't it? Because this is the Solution 3D layout. Although he managed to recover that one nicely, did Santiago. So he's still very much comfortable. It's not the right word to use, but he's definitely in that third position. Mikel Azcona, though, really would like a piece of this one. Contact involving cars 107 and 111 at 2:17. No further action. That's good news. That is Ted, obviously Bjork and Aurelien Comte. So Aurelien was the instigator of that one and is now in pit lane. I think it seems like that's punishment enough for the customers. Julian Brichet in the blue machine keeping a very close watching brief, isn't he, on Norbert Michelet? It's really impressive from Julian Brichet all weekend long, actually. Look at that one. They are the two same cars. They are the Hyundai Elantra NTCR, but Norby has the EV version, the new one, the one with the new engine, the few trick bits in it. It has a different balance of performance, of course, than the older edition that Julian Brichet was racing. So Julian theoretically has a more favourable balance of performance, but a less favourable, slightly older vehicle underneath him. Doesn't seem to be doing much trouble, does it, with that one? Really on form is Julian Brichet at the moment. And Norbert Michelet will need to use all of his vast experience to try and hold off the French driver. So far, though, doing a good job. 7th and 8th places, respectively. There we go, pick those two up again, some of the closest fighting on track. Norby's definitely not comfortable, is he? Certainly doesn't look as comfortable as he did at this part of the race in race 1 earlier today, and most definitely doesn't look as comfortable as Mikel Azcona, his teammate. There we go, another little lock. Slightly more dramatic than we would have expected. He kind of unloaded at that part of the track anyway, so lifting the wheel, locking the tyres, no big issue. But that was a little bit more dramatic than Norbert Michelet than perhaps we're used to. Yellow flags in Sector 2, T5. Coming upon that one in a few moments' time, so we'll see who's got themselves in trouble. Time on screen's flashing all sorts of different things. She'll show they may be in a bit of issue as well. Let's have a look then. Go. Loop it around all by yourself. That's a scary place to loop a car, if I'm perfectly honest. Through Senior into Bousset. Going at a fair lick of pace will Tom Poussier, but Gets it back on the racetrack, trying to make up ground, bless him, for the drive-through penalty, no doubt. Tom remains in 14th position. Got the car back up and running. Green flags continue to wave. Lap 8 to 16 then, Teddy Clary remains your fastest driver in the motor race. 1 minute 32.420 is his lap time. For reference, last time around was a 33.2. So that's 0.2 of a second slower than Ma Qinghua, Chinese driver. Still in this one, isn't he? 1.3 seconds is the gap. You would not bet against Ma at all, especially with the form that the Geely Cyan Racing team have shown since they came into the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour this season, replacing the previous Lincoln Co. Cyan Racing car. Well, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Looks similar, same colour, just as competitive. It's an absolute beast, is this car. Really, really fast is the Geely Preface. And so far, their drivers are doing a stellar job. Although, I'll be honest, I reckon Jan Erlichey fancies one more. He's having a look at Azcona. Azcona goes defensive to the inside, doesn't allow Jan any opportunity to pop a nose to the inside and force the issue. Mikel acutely aware that he is under a lot of pressure from behind. The big problem is as well for the Spanish driver, if he gets involved in the battle with Jan, and that's going to bring Ted Bjork very much into the discussion as well. So Ted Bjork recovering from his earlier assault is from that man, Aurelien Comte, who, by the way, he's back out on track. Good stuff from SP Competition to get Aurelien's car back up and running again. This is what we're looking at, isn't it? This is where the entertainment is going to be found. Mikel Azcona has got 7 laps to hold off Jan Erlichey. That doesn't sound easy, does it? I would not want to be Mikel Azcona at all in that scenario. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Tom Pussier, by the way, has served his drive-through penalty. He's back on the racetrack now, having had a bit of an excursion. We've seen you earlier on. Let's pick up this fight again. Azcona 4th, Erlichey 5th, Ted Bjork in 6th position as well. Look at that one. And just ahead, Santi Urrutia, who I'm sure will be driving that car at the same time as unplugging his intercom. Because if Jan does get past and the phone call comes to allow Jan a further spot on the road just to help his recovery, I don't think Santiago Urrutia is going to enjoy that, do you? I think it might be quite difficult for that instruction to make its way through. And they're the guys that were making it. Frederick Vallen keeping a watching brief there over his charge. Really pleased with what he sees though, won't he? Doing a good job so far. Mikel again to the inside. He needs to be careful with Azcona. Defending fresh air is not necessarily the most intelligent course of action. Compromising yourself, compromising your lap time, and making it yet more vulnerable to those behind. Speaking of vulnerable, by the way, Santiago Urrutia is absolutely all over the place. What is going on with the Uruguayan driver? That is a very sloppy chicane indeed for the man in 3rd position. Santi now has really opened the door for some pressure from behind. Look at Mikel Azcona, you can't even see him. He's that glued to the rear bumper of the Uruguayan driver. What happened to Santiago Urrutia? Where did he make the mistake? One thing's for sure is, though, the margins are so fine. This 3rd position that looked moderately comfortable a few laps ago now doesn't look comfortable at all. Although, it's fair to say Jan Erlichey is doing a very good job for his teammate by keeping the rear-view mirror and making Azcona more than filled over the course of this race. Great stuff from all of these. It is still Urrutia on that bottom step of the podium for now. Another big lock up again. Standard at this part of the track. Very difficult. You've got to have such a good change of direction. As the race progresses and the tyres start to wear, that becomes more and more difficult to get the front end of the car in. Understeer becomes a bigger thing, and then it compounds itself, working the tyres harder, they're wearing faster, and so on and so forth. So for Mikel Azcona, in again, defensive down into T1. You don't need to be defensive at this stage, Mikel. Be very, very careful how hard you're working on this defensive strategy. You're doing a good job so far. Is this little battle pack. Santiago under pressure again. Mikel Azcona again. No opportunity there is Jan Erlichey. That is the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corse team watching on nervously. And I'm not surprised. This is big, big pressure for Azcona. Last time around, 1 minute 33.486 for the Spanish driver, 33.6 for Urrutia, 33.469 for Erlichey. So they're all dictating each other's pace in this little barrel pipe. But Santi, for sure, is looking like he's the cork in this particular bottle. Ted Bjork becoming a bit detached as well, can't quite keep the pace of this trio. Who's going to blink first? 5 laps to go. It's going to take a lot of effort for Santiago Urrutia, for Mikel Azcona, and for Jan Earlshay to do everything with these 3 cars. But if anybody can, I think these 3 can manage it quite easily. Into the final corner we go again. Crucial to get a good launch through here. It's not as long a straight as it would be if we were on the Grand Prix layout, but it's still a fairly long run down into T1. As Santiago Urrutia, as Mikel Azcona keeps showing, he feels the need to go defensive there, even though Jan Earlshay is not really close enough to have a look. So Mikel covering all bases. And one thing's for sure is it definitely looks a little bit quicker, doesn't it? And Santiago Urrutia at this stage. But again, keep quoting our old Murray Walker. Catching's one thing, passing is something entirely different. Twelve or 16 laps then are in the books. It is still Teddy Clare, this time the 1 second gap between himself and Marcin Qua, the chasing Mark, closing down slowly but surely. As near as makes no difference, same lap time last time around. 1 second now is the gap. 8 tenths have been shed by our race leader. The fight for 3rd position, though, we don't need a stopwatch for this one. We just need eyes. Look how close it is. Mikel Azcona now. I think he's vulnerable here. This is going to be big pressure. Earlshay seems to have a more positive front end, doesn't he, on that GD Cyan racing car. Just seems to be able to nip it into the apex a little bit earlier, a little bit sharper than Mikel Azcona can manage. Azcona keeping the middle of the racetrack occupied. If Jan's going to find a way past, it's going to have to go the long way, says Mikel Azcona. And so far, he's doing absolutely everything he needs for the textbook. Make no mistakes. Don't defend where it's not necessary. Ooh, Mikel had a little look then, didn't he, to the inside of Santiago. Right, get ready, strap yourself in, pop your seatbelt on, folks. I reckon we're about to go absolutely ballistic here. And there we go. Down the back straight then to start lap number 13. All the pressure in the world applied by Mikel Azcona. Has a look to the outside. Santiago Urrutia is defensive. That is going to be Santi's line. Mikel has no choice but to go around the tyre stacks. Can he rejoin? Back in position again. Yes, he does. Just in front of Jan Earlshay. Has another look down into the North chicane. No opportunity though. Urrutia covers the line. Keeps it nice and neat in the 181. Just holding position for now. Mikel Azcona is going to have to think again how he's going to respond to this one. Jan Earlshay, he knows it's a threat behind, but Azcona's quick. Azcona is hungry for this position. Look at this one, trying to cover the racing line. Is Santiago Urrutia. Julian Brichet at the back of your shot in some kind of strife as well. That's a sad sight to see for Brichet. It's been a good drive from the Frenchman. He's crawling into some kind of problem, but let's have a look at this fight then. For 3rd, 4th and 5th position, that's your 2 race leaders, and there we go. Azcona almost side by side with Earlshay. The Frenchman, though, can't find a way past. Mikel holds on to this one. Ted Bjork is now in the party. What do you get when you put 3 Geely Cyan racing cars together with a Hyundai Elantra? You get a damn fine motor race. That's what you do, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here and right now. Mikel Azcona holds on, but Jan Earlshay looks like a man ready to attack. Here we go again. Let's have another look. This is a replay around the outside. Mikel tried to go, and then the problem is, just like Santi's allowed to do, show him the barrier and give him no choice whatsoever. Azcona, great bit of driving there actually to avoid the contact. Now back to our live pictures. Azcona still trying to find a way past. Earlshay still trying to keep in the wheel tracks. It feels a little bit like now we're waiting for the opportune moment, doesn't it? Like 14 or 16, we're running out of time. Mikel, it's going to be, I can't use the language that we use in the UK because it's not fit for daytime television, but it's one of those passes that we use where you say you kind of close your eyes and just, you're either a hero or you're not. I think that's what Mikel Azcona might have to do on this occasion. Here we go then. Following through Senior, very difficult to stay close to the car in front. That Hyundai though looks good. There's another small mistake from Urrutia. Not really a mistake, just using all the racetrack. Nevertheless though, that's going to encourage the Spanish driver, isn't it? Mikel Azcona, he can feel this in the water, can't he? He senses podium opportunity. Well, he's got 2 laps to try and do something about it. It's going to be a big ask. And if anyone can, Mikel Azcona can. Small mistake there for Athcona. Kind of almost opened the door for Jan Erlichey as we cycle back to our race leaders. Last time I looked at this one, Teddy Claret had a 1 second advantage. Now, it is absolutely nothing. It is all down to who is going to be the bravest over these final 2 laps. Is Marcin Hua willing to risk it all to take the race victory? Can Teddy Claret hold on to something he's held right from the start of this race? Going back a little bit, staying on the same shot, Mikel Athcona under pressure from Jan Erlichey again. Erlichey can't quite get close enough. Athcona holds on. Ted Bjork, though, now very, very much in this fight. Don't discount Ted for being the one that sneaked through all the chaos, but it's inevitably going to happen over the last lap or so of racing. Through the chicane. Much better this time for Santiago. Remember, the mistake in there is what made him vulnerable to Mikel Athcona the last time around. Look at the front of your shot as well. There's battles everywhere you look. This is the polar opposite to race 1 this morning. Absolutely fantastic stuff all the way through the field. Not least of whom is our race leaders, Teddy Claret. Wow, last season was pressure. This race is going to be just as much, but condensed into about 1.5 lap. Marcin Hua absolutely well and truly has the pace now, doesn't he? It's not about lap times, it's not about strategy, it's not about posturing, it's about having 1 lap to try and find a way past for the race victory. And Marcin Hua, what did he say to Alex on the grid? Full send, no looking back, no mirrors. I've never seen the man drive any other way. Look at Marcin now. Has the outside line. He's got the optimal line. Claret, that's a mistake. He's gone defensive into the last corner. That is a mistake from the French driver. He's going to hemorrhage speed down the back straight. Look how close Mar is. This is the final lap that we're about to enter. And this is your fight for the race lead. Teddy Claret, he's held it from the start. Doesn't feel the need to go defensive. Mar has a little think about it. Prioritises the run through the corner though. That's intelligent racecraft on the Chinese driver, and it might pay dividends almost immediately. No, it doesn't. Claret just about holding on. He's under pressure now, the Cupra though, isn't he? Coming into the chicane. Will everybody hit their spots nicely? Yes, they do. Look at that one. Inch perfect from our race leader. Marcin Hua is rapidly running out of chances now to find a way past. Mikel Athcona's just holding on in the background as well, but the fight for the lead is what we're most interested in at this moment in time. Coming into senior once again, Mar very, very quick through here. The bravest of the brave is car number 155. Use all of the racetrack into Bousset. It's a hard braking zone. The track falls away from you. Be careful of understeer. We know the Geely is good at getting to the apex. He's a little bit better than the Cooper on this occasion, but not quite good enough. Claret doing everything, absolutely everything he needs to do to bring home the victory. Chooses the defensive line reasonably early into the final section of corners. Mar can't quite get the nose up the inside. Now has a look to the other side. Not enough room. Teddy Claret, the widest Cupra in the whole history of TCR, covers the inside line. He's going to run it wide, have the inside line, murder the apex into the final corner. Claret will be hoping he's done enough. Can he get the car turned in? Yes, he can. Accelerate to the line, and Teddy Claret takes victory in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour here at Paul Ricard. An absolutely splendid drive from the French driver, and an incredible victory as his reward. Absolutely, absolutely sensational stuff from Teddy Claret then. A better defensive drive, I guarantee you will not see today. Unbelievable stuff, made no mistakes, kept the pressure absolutely under control. Marcin Hua, credit to Mar, didn't do anything stupid, didn't try silly manoeuvres, played fair all the way through, and yeah, that's a gratifying podium for me, that one. That is 2 drivers that have absolutely earned and deserved their reward. Look at the family as well. There's Jimmy. It's not his turn in the car today, but he's going to be delighted, honestly. Jimmy and Teddy, they don't care who wins as long as it's one of them. And they're a lovely family. Dad's there as well. So are the wives. They're a beautiful family, the Clarets. They're a lovely group. They adore the motor racing. For me, for my money, they're the definition of what racing car drivers should be. They work together as a family, they're all in the factory together, dad's there, brothers are there, there'll be spanner in the car, then going out and driving it. They've always got time for you. Their wives bring incredible food to the circuit, which I really do enjoy. They're just beautiful people. And my God, am I delighted they took that win. I'm really, really happy for Teddy Claret. He thoroughly deserves that one. Not the victory itself, the manner in which it was achieved. absolutely beautiful. Fast when he needed to be, built the cushion, was aggressive off of the start in beautiful, beautiful ways, and then soaked up that pressure like a sponge. Absolutely. Now, sensational stuff. Family-run team, there are the Castellet Sport guys. Boys, you just won a race at world level. Well done. That's very impressive against some mighty competition as well. Just to confirm, Santiago Arrutia did hold on, by the way, to the bottom step of the podium at the end. Mikel Azcona held on to fourth. Bravo to Mikel as well. That was a fine drive to keep everybody behind. And interestingly, did not, there's Dad, happy boy, did not see it on screen, but Ted Bjork and Jan Erleschee swap positions right at the end. Ted back up into that 5th place he gave Jan, as Jan couldn't find his way forward. So that's nice. Nice teamwork as well. Ted gave Jan a chance, Jan couldn't pull it off, and Jan gave it him back again. So they're 5th and 6th. Jenson Brickley just behind Norbert Mitchell in 7th. Quiet for Norby, wasn't it? Fastest lap of the race at 33.2 versus a 32.6 for Mikel. So maybe some kind of problem for Norby. Not the pace that we are particularly used to seeing. I'm having a look now, and there is Parc Fermé, there is your race winner. So I got distracted then because my TCR Europe WhatsApp group is lighting up as they're all celebrating one of their boys having taken a win in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. And so they should be. Teddy Claret, of course, finished 2nd in the standings last season in TCR Europe, joint in points with Jenson Brickley. Fantastic year, running their own team again with Dad, Team Claret Sport. It was Audis that time. Now they're back in Cupras, and look at that one, the switch instantly proving successful. Beautiful. There we go, Jimmy watching on as well. Look at that. It means the world to both of these guys. They genuinely, and I believe them when they say it, when they were racing together last year, said, who do you want to win the championship? Which of you want to win? I don't care. As long as one of us wins, we really don't care who it is, and I believe it as well. They're genuinely a motor racing family. As I say, proper racing drivers, proper racing family, good people all round. Clarets, gotta love them, delighted for them, absolutely delighted for them. Right then, stop celebrating and go and find Alex Le Gouy and have your interview, Teddy, because we've got a podium to do, sunshine. It's all fun and games being successful, but we've got a TV schedule to keep. And nothing, upon nothing, waits for the TV schedule. As final few handshakes. It's not that big a team, so there's not that many people, surely, to congratulate the Claret Sports squad. Very much run efficiently, to say the least. That's Marcin Guar, good drive from him as well. And the ETS Guest Star Trophy will be awarded to, I'm guessing, looking at this one, I think that's Jenson, won't it? Jenson Brickley should get that one. But we'll find that out, we'll confirm that one when we see the provisional finishing positions in a few moments' time, of course. We'll have to admit that there are tears in the eye for Teddy there. That's lovely, that. Really, really happy for him. Let's have a look at the driver's standings then. Provisional, of course. Mikel Azcona from the disaster of Valencia to 6 points behind Santiago in the driver's standings. Norby moves to within 32 points in 3rd. Ted Bjork, decent actually for Ted, 35 adrift. And Jan Erleschee's slow but sure climb back into contention continues. Just 54 in arrears is Jan now. And I'm having a look at my scribbled on old piece of paper. What did he come into the weekend in arrears of? 77. So that is a very, very decent turnaround for Jan Erleschee, considering there are no race victories against his name. Beautiful, beautiful stuff for Jan, actually. We spoke about this at length, about his nightmare start to the year, and every single member of the team internally in World Tour. But Jan Erleschee, don't discount him out until he's mathematically unable to win it. They're absolutely right. This could still be Jan's year, for sure. Right then, everybody stop crying, everybody stopped hugging, everybody stopped kissing, and we can now talk to our race winner. Over to you, Alex Le Gouy.
Teddy Claret, what an incredible result that was. Your first win in the World Tour, and what a win that was. Those boys did not make it easy for you.
No, definitely not, but as usual in TCR, key was the start, and my one was good. I want to thank Ma for the fair fight at the start and at the end of the race, because we can do good race with good drivers too, so thanks to him. And then, yeah, it's quite crazy. I just focus on myself, try to do quali lap after quali lap. At the end, I was suffering a lot, and he was much faster, especially sector 2. But it's part of the game, and in the end, we get it. So I'm really happy for my brother, my father, for the team, of course. And no, it's so nice, incredible.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Go to turn off the car.
Absolutely incredible indeed. First win for Teddy Claret then in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Not surprising really, he's not made that many starts. It's only his 4th race start, of course, and first in the Claret Sport team. Right then, confirmation of the results as they cross the line. Teddy Claret from Marchinquois and Santiago Urrutia are your podium. Mikel Azcona and Ted Bjork and Jan Earlishae 4th, 5th and 6th. A change round between Jan and Ted right at the very end. Norbert Mittelitz in 7th, just ahead of Jensen Brickley in a sole Honda in 8th position. Quiet race for the British driver, but a solid result nevertheless. Look at the gap. Just over 1.5 tenths of a second cover our top 2. That's how close it was. Manuel Fernandes is the ETS Guest Star Trophy winner once again. 9th place then for the Portuguese. It promised so much more, but he made it to the flag. That was the key thing. Damiano Raduzzi, Raphael Fournier, Gilles Chauvin, Tom Poussier, Julien Brichet round out the drivers who finished, and Aurelien Comte unfortunately ended his day in pit lane and unclassified. This is the driver's standings once again, all provisional as always. Mikel Azcona 6 points in arrears, but it is hotting up in the championship standings. 59 points covering the top 6. One of those top 6 being Jan Earlishae. His comeback is looking like a bit of a classic, isn't it? If we get to Macau and Jan Earlishae lifts the trophy at the end of the year, it will have been an absolutely incredible performance. However, that said, we've still got Villarreal, Ingespiedium, Chengdu, Zhuzhou and Macau to go before we even need to think about those kinds of conversations. This is round 7 of 20 that we've just enjoyed. And I did enjoy it, I must admit. So why not head over and have a look at some of the highlights of the race we've just enjoyed. There we go then, that was the highlights from round 7 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me, that was much more entertaining than round 6 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. Absolutely brilliant race, incredible fights to be fair, all the way through the top 6 and throughout the field. But Teddy Claret has come out on top of this one, and genuinely, I'm still a little bit shell-shocked. In fact, let's watch him on the podium.
The Kumho FIA TCR World Tour here in Paul Ricard. Please put your hands together for our 3rd position. From Geely Cyan Racing, it's Santi Urrutia. In 2nd position, from Geely Cyan Racing, it's Marchinquois. And your winner, give it up for Claret Sports, Teddy Claret. Representing Claret Sports is Jimmy Claret. Please also welcome onto the podium our ETS trophy winner, Manuel Fernandes. And now for the national anthem of our winning driver, Teddy Claret. Presented to you by Marcello Lotti, our CEO of WSC and the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, presenting the third position trophy to Geely Cyan Racing's Santiago Urrutia. Marcello will now present the second position trophy to Geely Cyan Racing's Ma Qinghua. And winning the trophy to Claret Sports, Teddy Claret. Presenting the team trophy to Claret Sports, Jimmy Claret. And the ETS trophy goes to Manel Fernandez. Well, boys, please come together for your official photograph. Champagne!
So there we go. That is our podium celebration over and done with, and that is our Paul Ricard weekend over and done with. It has been absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody at Paul Ricard, for hosting us this weekend. Thank you so much, everybody watching at home. It's been a couple of entertaining races, and I reckon we should probably do it again quite soon. How about next weekend? Does that sound fun? Fancy a trip to Portugal, Villarreal, street circuit, joker laps, lots of barriers, lots of damage, lots of drama. Yeah, me too. See you there for round 8 and 9 on the 11th to 12th of July. But until then, Santiago Urrutia, he's got 6 points to defend. That's going to be a challenge for Mikel Azcona. There'll be a lot of head scratching in the few short days between now and then for a few of our drivers. There'll be a lot of people thinking Villarreal could be an opportunity or could be a curse. One thing we know for sure, it is always dramatic. And after 2 good races here at Paul Ricard, we head to an entirely different circuit indeed. It's a street track, it's fast, it's Larry, it's Villarreal. Make sure you don't miss that one next weekend. But for this weekend, just want to say again, a big thank you to you all. We've been doing free practice, qualifying and the races, just like we'll do next weekend. So from myself, Paul Jeffrey, from Alex Legui in the pit lane, and from everybody behind the scenes here at the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, thanks for your company, thanks for watching, much love, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.